welcome back to another video, and today I have an absolutely epic Atlantean Mermail deck profile for you guys. With the release of Dawn of Majesty, this deck has gotten a massive power boost, and without further ado, be sure to smash the like button, comment down below what you guys think of my take on the deck, and of course subscribe to the channel. It is completely free. And in the last video, I believe around 85% of you guys were not subscribed, so if we can get it down to 80% just in this video, that would be absolutely crazy. So that's what we're going to try to aim for, and of course, let's get right into the video. So first off, we have triple Deep Sea Diva. Diva is game. If you open Diva, your opponent won't be able to break it. You end on a massive board, and I really do think it is incredibly powerful. We have our triple Neptubis. Neptubis is obviously the go-to for Diva. It's an amazing card and lets you get into your next card, which is very, very powerful, being Atlantean Dragoons. This card is mandatory, so even if you get to activate it, you are legally required to resolve it, you know. And it's just a really great card in the sense that it's a search, and search is never bad. This deck searches a ton and summons a ton. So sadly, Nibiru does kind of hit hard, but if you play around Nibiru with this deck, it can do a great job at that too. One of Fishberg Launcher. Fishberg Launcher is a really broken card that a lot of people forget exists. So if you basically have a monster in your graveyard other than himself and all of them are water, you can just summon it from your graveyard but banish it when it leaves the field, and it's a tuner. So basically you can summon this off of your Halki Fibrax and pop off like that. Fishborg is one of the best tuners for any water deck, and I really do think it's an incredibly powerful card that you have to run. Double Atlantean Heavy Infantry. Infantry is just broken. It pops cards, and on top of that, it's just really, really nice to have in those types of scenarios where you need like that extra extender, because it gives you an extra normal summon essentially. So it's a really cool card. Next up, we are getting into our cool cards. We have triple Deep Sea Minstrel. This card is really good. So it basically discards it and another water monster. It looks at your opponent's hand. If that was the entire effect, that would be broken. But on top of that, it banishes a card from their hand until the end phase. So if they have a hand trap, you just straight up banish their Nibiru out of their hand, and if they do have other hand traps, you now know what they have, you know what they're playing, and you know if they're going to be able to break your board or not, and then you can play towards that to make sure they can't. This card is absolutely broken. I do believe that playing Mermail requires 3 of this card. Triple Mermail Abystius. Abystius is an amazing card. It's literally an extender and loads your graveyard with more water monsters, and also on summon it just literally searches for another Mermail monster. So if you pitch like Dragoons for this card, then that's 2 adds and a body for free. Like, this card is always a plus. One Mermail Abyss Megalo. Abyss Megalo is really cool. It discards 2 other waters, which is a bit steeper, but at the same time, it searches a spell and trap, and also has a pretty cool effect. It is a really nice card to have, and I do think at 1, this card is really good where it is. One Mermail Abyss Spike. Abyss Spike is a great card to have at 1, not more than 1 though, because it is good, but at the end of the day, you want to see more actual engine pieces other than these like side type cards. Double Mermail Abyss Gun. I can never say this card's name, but the point is, this card is really cool because if it's discarded to the graveyard, you can just target a Mermail monster in the graveyard and just bring it out. So you can build like a massive chain link similar to Shadal, go to chain link 3, 4 type stuff, and then just like get a free extender off of the Abyss Gun, because all of these cards require you to pitch a card to activate their effects, and that, or something like that, and that just triggers their effects, which is what I really like about this deck. Triple Stop Frog. I do believe that playing this card with the mini frog engine is really, really good because it gives you an extra interruption on your end board being Toad, and they're all water monsters, and I do think running these is the correct way to play the deck. We have to go with it, the one Rodent Toad, and obviously Rodent Toad is great. Just a key thing to remember, it can't be used as a synchro material, but that shouldn't come up too much. One Moulin Glacia. Basically, this card loops your hand, your opponent's hand for 2 more cards. It's really, really great, and I do love this card. I believe it's very broken, especially because the summoning condition is so easy to have. Just need to have 5 water monsters in your graveyard, and then you can just bring it out from your hand, and that is so easy to achieve in this deck. It's ridiculous. One Lapis Dragon, obviously a great extender. If it's added from your deck to your hand, you can reveal it and summon it. And then why this is so good, because every single card in your deck literally adds another card. These are all pluses. One Despot 001. 001 you can also summon off of the Hulk. This is a really cool combo. You can just go into the Auroradon and pop off from there. It's just really, really nice. You can also run Herald because of that. That is a great option, running Herald in this deck. Double Aqua Spirit. This is more of an extender. A lot of people did cut this card. I still believe it's good running at 2. You can just banish a water from your graveyard and summon it from your hand. It's pretty cool. double Gamma Seal in the main. So this is a bit techy or like spicy, but at the end of the day, this is a water kaiju and it can help you out Dragoon, and it can also it outs generically cards that are very annoying. And if you end up going second, this card is absolutely broken. It makes Drytron an incredibly easy matchup and stuff like that, and I do believe maining these two Gamma Seals in the main deck is actually a really nice way to play the deck. Onto the spells. Triple Deep Sea Aria. This is another searcher because literally every single card in this deck searches, which is very, very good. So it straight up banishes a water from your graveyard and then searches level 4 Lore Sea Serpent. And in case you guys don't know what a Sea Serpent is, it's right over here, Deep Sea Diva. We have now our support from Dawn of Majesty, double Ready Fusion and 1 instant fusion. So you can run 3 Ready Fusion, but I believe that if you open both of these, and at least it's more live than just seeing us 2 Ready Fusions. Now, Ready Fusion basically says pay 1,000 life points, special summon 1 level 6 or lower non-effect fusion monster from your extra deck, and it's exact same as instant fusion in that sense, except that it summons a level higher, but it has to be a non-effect monster. So now this makes the deck incredibly more consistent because you can bring out your classic sea monster Thesis and then go into the Halqifibrax because it is a water tuner monster, which is very, very good, and the synergy with this card in this deck is off the roof. It's like insane. It's a really good card. 1 instant fusion. In the worst case scenario, we can bring out a Thesis, but it's also nice to have the instant fusion as a third one. So if we do go through the Thesis, it's not a dead draw, so we have access to our Millennium Eyes Restrict to play around their hand traps. So once again, hand traps are really annoying, so you want to get like around them as fast as possible. Finally, we have one card that a lot of people choose not to run, but I do kind of like this card. It basically just summons a Mermail from your deck, and the effects are negated, and that's basically it. I think it's a great extender, and it's a continuous trap, and I do think at 1 this card is fine, but if you want to cut this, there's absolutely no problem with that. Onto the extra deck, we have 1 Sea Monster Thesis. As I said, it's a water tuner that you can bring out with support. Very, very good, and I would say this is like a big reason why the deck is so good. 1 of our Millennium Eyes Restrict, obviously for the instant fusion. Onto the Synchro package, this is where it gets interesting. We have 1 Dragite. Dragite's really, really good. It's another negate part of your end board. Very fun card. 1 Borload Savage Dragon. This card gets really big and it's more negates. It's another interruption on your end board, and I really love that. 1 Deep Sea Prima Donna. So a lot of people forget this card actually exists, but I do think it is really cool because in niche scenarios, this card can come up really, really well. 1 Desert Locust. Obviously, you bring this off of your Hulk in your opponent's turn. It's very, very great. And, you know, just straight up, like, you know, it's nice. The turn player discards a card, loop them for 1. By then, like, they won't even have a hand anymore. 1 Trishula, loop them for another card. The whole point of this deck, you can loop your opponent's hand. You discard 2 by searching Mulan Glacia, another one by with Trish, and then you have Desert Locust in their turn. And if you really need to, you can discard another card with like a ton of other stuff. Next up, we have the 1 Shen Shen. This is a really cool tech in this deck. I think Shen Shen is one of the most powerful cards in this format right now because it murders half of the decks. Because if you think about it, should all invoke Dogmatica, it banishes their invocation, banishes their Alsphere, banishes their fusion materials for Winda, for like the Schism. It turns off their constructs in the grave. It turns off everything. It's just a really, really powerful card. We have 1 Bahamut Shark to go through. 1 Totally Awesome. This card is great, and it gets us easy access to Toad even when we don't have the Frogs. Onto the Link monsters, we have 1 Access Code Talker, one of the best Link 4s of all time. I do believe if you don't afford this card, if you can't afford it, play Boral Sword instead. 1 Krishan Halqifibrax. If you can't like get this card, don't play the deck. It's not worth it because this card is what builds the whole deck together. It's incredibly powerful, and I highly recommend running this card. 1 Marincess Coral Anemone. You can bump this up to 2, but I kind of wanted to fit in the Millennium Eyes Restrict, you know, so it's pretty cool. And then over here we have the 1 Auroradon. Auroradon is a really great card, and the fact that you can just make it and then get a bunch of more monsters to play with for free is very, very good. 1 Mistar Boy. This is the flex spot. You can sub this out for a Herald. You can sub this out for literally anything you want, but it's nice to have a generic water monster when you really need it, you know, but you can sub this out for a Herald if you need to. Onto the side deck, Triple Lancia. This card is a great card in this format. The 3rd Gamma Seal. This is an option if you guys want to main another 3rd or just put in another in the side. I think Nibiru should be in every single side deck this format. Abyss Dweller is another option for the extra deck. Dark Ruler No More is more side deck options. You can also run the Harpy's Feather Duster and some more like Twin Twisters. Evenly matched, a great going second card. And finally, we have the 1 IO. If you want to main this, that's actually really cool instead of the Abyss Sphere, because if you go this instead of the Abyss Sphere, then basically you end on an extra Floodgate interruption, because once you use your spells once, you'll never use them again. Like the spells you don't even need to play the deck. That's it for the deck profile. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, be sure to smash the button. Comment down below what you guys think of the deck, and of course subscribe. Let's try to get to that 80%. I think we can do it. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Alright guys, peace.